pro-veg life that were kind of taught by the Gurdwara, by the Vidwans and all this kind of stuff. But I think the evidence is more than abundantly clear that the Sikhs ate meat, and not out of the whole starvation narrative, we were in the jungles, there was nothing to eat type shit. It's very clear that Sikhs ate meat just straight up. And all of our history, all the stuff written by the Sikhs, everything points to this fact. And I think it's a very new concoction of the new age where Sikhs have started to not eat meat and basically have these veg lifestyles that is completely destroying our panth from just every angle possible. It's destroying our mental idea of like every food, nutrition. You know, you talk to people, you could get all the proteins you want from dal, even though dal does not have a complete protein profile. It's like missing certain amino acids, and you know that's why so many desis are skinny fat and shit. Like, meat was so abundant in the life of the Khalsa, and it's completely been evaporated. And I think this is mainly, I attribute this to one very specific thing that happened, okay? So the Singh Sabha movement, you know, by Veer Singh, Professor Puran Singh, all these people who like basically were combating the British Christian conversion process, because you got to look at it at that time. Sikhs were not allowed to go on this like, yo, fuck the British route. It just was not okay. But as long as they're protecting their quote unquote institutions, then it's okay to like fight back against this. And it was two fronts, right? There was one where Sikhs were being converted to Christians, and then the other front was Arya Samaj and this like, oh, Sikhs are Hindus, and you know the Singh Sabha movement producing works like Hum Hindu Nahi, like we're not Hindus. And in that crossfire, the Singh Sabha, and this is my analysis and my take, the Singh Sabha is on this very intellectual run. You know, they're writing books. They're like approaching high culture. They're basically fighting like the British intellectually, but the problem is they're not reaching the Aam Banda and the Pind. And so an example of this kind of mentality is like, the best one I could give you is like Stalin and Trotsky. So, you know, during when Vladimir Lenin died and the dictatorship position or whatever the fuck it's called in the Soviet Union, or the Communist Party of the Soviet Union, was up for grabs. It was between Trotsky and Stalin. Trotsky was hella educated. Stalin was like a get shit done kind of banda. People didn't like the fact that Trotsky was an intellectual. They thought like he looked down on us, like, oh, he thinks he's fucking smarter than us. Just like how intellectuals do, right? Like, I'm an expert, you're dumb, shut the fuck up. That type of thing. And so because of that, Trotsky was a little bit not liked, and then Stalin wins. And I think the Singh Sabha was basically suffering from the same syndrome of, hey, you think you're fucking better than us because you're more, you know, intellectual, like we don't care. And so this created a gap where a new movement was able to sweep right in and start doing Prachar, because everyone understood at that time Prachar needed to be done. Nobody was like, no, fuck that. Everyone was on like, yes, pro-Prachar situation. But the group that really got to break away and do a lot of the Prachar was the Nirmale. And the Nirmale are a sect that has like a lot of Hindu Vedantic knowledge within them, but they are pro-Khalsa, taking Amrit, all that, but they're also pro-veg. And they ended up morphing into the Taksal later on, and people are going to hate that take, but that's just, from my analysis, very accurate of what the fuck was happening. And so when the Nirmale started to convert people, because it wasn't like, you know, you had to go to a village and get everyone to convert. If you could get like the sarpanch of a village to convert, everyone was like, all right, down, we'll convert too. Like we'll take Amrit, we'll become Khalsa. And because of that, the Nirmale were basically like, you know, like a lot of our things in Sikhi that came, like Sikhs don't do Pangra, Sikhs don't do this, all that all happened at that era because of the Nirmale, because of that. Like Taksal-esque Nirmala teachings started to pervade and become like the norm of Sikhi Khalsa thought, and we lost out. Like, for example, you know, sources like Suraj Prakash and stuff say that people were dancing at Guru Gobind Singh Ji's marriage or wedding. Like, people were celebrating, were dancing. But they'll tell you, like, Sikhs don't dance. You know, everyone's seen the Just Rain video where, you know, Sikh itthe pangra paunde nahi and stuff, but that's not true. And so I believe what ended up happening is the Nirmale started pushing this pure veg thing because, again, Sikhi is not black or white. The Guru Granth Sahib is in the gray. There's things that you can support either side of the argument. That's the problem. And it's also up to your interpretation. One ang that tells you that eating meat is good can be interpreted as, you know, it's bad or it's good. So you get into a clusterfuck of, like, what is good, what is bad, I don't know. And you have to kind of make it the decision for yourself. But the early Sikhs, after Guru Gobind Singh Ji, and even before that, it's very clear that they were eating meat. And eating meat was, the more you get into the different stories of it, is very often pushed and pro. Okay? That's my opening argument. Echoes. What do you have as a counter? That was no research, by the way. That was off the top of the dome, so don't come at me.
Okay, I don't believe anything you say in terms of, like, it's off the dome. That fully felt like so prepared and scripted. But obviously I can't speak to, like, okay, just my background in terms of, like, this situation. Like, I grew up similarly to E, like, not eating meat and everything, but I never had a desire to eat meat. Like, to this day, like, it doesn't affect me. I don't care about it. I don't have a desire. Oh my God, I wonder what it tastes like. I don't care. And I'm on the side of, like, yeah, like, I do agree, like, Guru Granth Sahib Ji is great in terms of, like, this debate in the terms of, like, can we eat meat or not? But I also, again, like, I can't speak to the whole, like, the Singh Sabha movement and stuff that you just talked about. And maybe I can agree because, like, just based off my knowledge on Nirmala's, like, and the Hindu influence. I don't want to say Hindu influence. They were, like, they did learn from Hindu scholars, and, like, so I do understand maybe that has, like, a take to it. And I do know, like, yeah, you're right, like, back in the day, like, they post Guru Gobind Singh, they did probably eat meat, right? But my thing is that back then, okay, again, and I don't think, like, I'm not shitting on anyone who eats meat. Like, I don't think it's, like, I think there's different maryada and everything. Like, if you do it based on maryada, even if, like, whatever, right? Everyone's on their own journey. Who cares? Like, who am I to, like, say yes or no to anyone? But my take is that if you're eating meat just to, like, eat, like, a junior chicken, or just to, like, eat meat for fun or taste or, like, whatever, like, in a way that is a form, like, you're lusting over food, like, you're lusting over taste, like, and you talk about this a lot, like, lust isn't just a physical thing, like, it's this, like, desire, like, you're doing something to do shakad, essentially, right? Like, so in a way, like, if you're eating meat just to, like, oh my God, this tastes so good and I'm just gonna eat meat, like, whatever, like, in a way, like, yeah, that's fucked up. Like, I'm sorry, like, I can't
all right,
justify
so
that because
I
back
love
in the day, no, I'm not done.
I love this taste argument, but
I'm
all
not
right,
done
okay, all right,
because
say your point.